Hey, what is up, my geeks and freaks? Big Girl Geek here with a brand new review. And tonight I'm here to review The Flash, Season 5, Episode 20, Gone Rogue. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Geek Out.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, it's like we take 2 steps forward with The Flash, and then we take 8 steps back. Okay, so Gone Rogue, basically, the team knows that Nora is in the future, and they're trying to use the satellites to find her, but she's using negative speed force to mask where she's at. She shows up in the future. She steals something from a facility, and she's using Gideon to help her, and Gideon's like, well, you can't do it by yourself. Do you want me to contact the Flash? She's like, no, I need someone that's going to help me. And it's just like all this drama. I don't know. I'll get to it. Why I'm not really feeling this episode. But, okay. So she says she needs someone who's going to help her. The team splits up as they normally do. And Cisco is back. He was not in the last episode. And I was like, oh, Cisco's back, so we won't see Ralph. But yes, we see Ralph. We'll get to the C plot. Well, not the C plot out of the way. The C plot of the episode was Ralph going to help Caitlin figure out what grown cicada stole from her dad's lab. So they go to the lab. Ralph is like trying to help Cisco tell his girlfriend that he's a meta. Then he's trying to help Sherlock tell his wife or whatever, I don't know. And he's telling Caitlin, he's like, well, here's my book on mourning to get Killer Frost to come out to help them patch up something at the lab. And they basically have this conversation where Caitlin's like, you're always helping other people with your books and your theories and your tips, but don't you want to find love? So I was like, oh my God, are they trying to hint that finally, with like 2 episodes left of the season, Ralph and Caitlin are going to magically develop these feelings out of nowhere? But that wasn't the case. Ralph's is like, I'm just not that into you. And Caitlin's like, gross, why would you even think that? I'm not into you. Okay, so I guess, why this late in the game are they trying to establish that Ralph and Caitlin aren't going to be together when the actors had come out and said that wasn't going to happen? I don't know if they saw tweets wanting people shipping them. I really haven't seen that. I just don't know what the point was of that conversation. So if someone can let me know what the point of that particular conversation was, that would be great. So they figure out that Big Cicada stole samples of Cisco's Metacure in its very early stages where it was not ready for it to be consumed by a meta. Where if they take it, the meta that took the cure in this particular stage that she stole could die. And then she stole the little crystal ball thing from the last episode because that will help her spread the virus to every meta in Central City. Okay, that was like the C story. The B story was Cisco and Sherlock working through their problems about their love lives. I don't even really want to get into it because I just don't give a crap. We haven't seen enough of Cisco with this girl, Camilla, to be invested into their relationship like you would be invested in Barry and Iris, who we've seen for 5 seasons. And, okay, whatever. And then Sherlock with his wife, they had, what, 1 episode? And she's like sending him emojis and he's trying to figure out what that means. That was, I guess, the B story because they partnered up Cisco and Sherlock in this episode, and Caitlin and Ralph in this episode were the partners. And then it was Barry and Iris with Cecile and Joe. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off track a little bit. Cecile, I'm glad to see her, you know, I'm glad to see more diversity on the show. CW is really pushing that they're diverse, and you know, another black woman on the show, that's great. She really doesn't serve a purpose, and it's taking up room for something that could be great. Now, no offense to the Cecile stance, but what is her purpose? She's the DA. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So Barry, they all figure out where Nora's next move is. After Nora goes and collects the rogues, she gets Weather Witch, B-Girl, and Ragdoll. And she wants to steal she needs their help because they have the building has meta dampening powers that put Argus to shame, which I don't know how that's possible, but we'll go with it. And so she needs these rogues who don't really have meta powers except Ragdoll, who is a meta, I believe, right? I don't know. They're saying that they have meta tech. But Ragdoll doesn't have tech. He can contort. So he was squished by a piece of the satellite from the satellite explosion with the Thinker. So he's a meta. So I don't know I don't know what that meant. Okay. Why would she need him to go into the meta free building? I don't know. I guess because he could contort and he's the only one that could fit into the vault. Okay. He was the only one that could contort into a pipe to go fit into the vault to open the door. That's why she needed Ragdoll. Okay, I worked that out because I was very confused. I'm like, meta dampening, and she needed a whole team that didn't have meta powers. Okay. So they figure out, Barry and Iris figure out what she's going to do. But in between that, they're all working out of Iris's office. I love when we can leave Star Labs. I think it's better when we leave Star Labs. And they're in Central City Citizens, like, you know, office, Iris's office. And Barry and Iris go out into the hallway to have a talk where they're having the same argument about Nora working with Thawne. And Iris again says, well, maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe, you know, it seemed Thawne convinced me to talk to you and make up with you for the last, you know, previous episode. And then maybe because Nora changed our lives for the better, maybe she changed Thawne's life for the better. It's like, you know, I trust Nora. You know, please. And the things that she was saying, and Iris is my girl, okay? She sounded so dumb. I was like, girl, why are you so dumb? She sounded so stupid. And it's like, she's not even seeing that her love for Nora is clouding her judgment when it comes to Thawne. And she's saying some things that are hurting Barry a little bit. And it's like, sis, you're not making that connection, sis. You're not understanding what you're saying, sis. I really didn't get it. Like, I get what she's trying to say, but the writing and the way they're making her say it is not working for me. as an Iris fan, I'm like, this girl is not dumb. Like, why? Obviously, like, even Thawne wanting them. Why would Thawne want Barry and Iris to be happy? That shit's weird. But I mean, yay for them making up. But they would have came to that conclusion on their own. Throwing Thawne in there is just really, it was just a stupid plot move. A stupid, right? That was just stupid. That didn't make any sense to me. So I'm like, no, girl. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with Barry on this one. It's like, yeah, I get what they were trying to, because Barry and Joe finally had a heart-to-heart. It's been forever this season, with Joe being gone and then him coming back. I still don't think they had like a real heart-to-heart like they have. And he's like, you know, I have to separate my detective side from when I'm like your dad, when I was, you know, helping to raise you. But you didn't call me dad until after you got your powers, because you had a dad. Henry's your dad. And that maybe could put a pin on this stupid thing that's still going around, that Barry and Iris are incest. I just so sick of seeing that. And it's like, people don't really understand guardianship, but okay. And he's like, you know, Henry was your dad, but I have to separate. It's like, I know the law, but I trust in you and Iris. And that talk, along with Iris's talk, helped Barry realize that, yes, even though I hate Thawne and I don't trust Thawne, I do not trust him. I trust Nora, and I'm going to hope for the best. And if something happens with Thawne, I guess we'll deal with it then. I guess that was the consensus, all that mumble jumble with Iris and Barry and Joe and Barry, that the conclusion that they need to come to. And Barry said in his talk with Joe, like, it's still weird for him. He doesn't know if he's going to be a good parent, and it's still weird for him to hear Nora call him dad, because he doesn't really feel like her dad, because he missed out on all that. So I get it, and that's where his conflict is coming in. But I don't know. Iris and Barry, Iris is so clouded for her love for Nora. She wants to be a good mom because Nora hated her, that she's not seeing what Thawne is doing. And then Barry is so consumed with his hate for Thawne that he's losing Nora. And they just need to hopefully come together. We only got 2 episodes left in the season. So there was a scene where Iris, Joe, and Barry used the tech from HR, where they were disguised as other people. And they were in the room during the Rogues betrayed Nora situation. Iris and Joe fought Ragdoll. Iris got knocked out for the first time ever, I think, of the show in 5 seasons, but she got up really quick. She got up quicker than Barry, Wally, and anyone else, and Caitlin, and anyone else that gets knocked out. And Ragdoll got the better of Joe, and Iris punched him and said he's lucky he didn't throw his ass off a roof, because as you remember, when they last met, Iris jumped off that roof to save Barry, which was one of the better moments this entire season. So that was a good scene. And then Nora and Barry fought the other rogues in the room, which was great. And so at the end, they all, you know, of course, it's the Flash, so they all made up. And he said, you know, I see now that, look, I don't trust Thawne, but I'm going to trust you, and I'm sorry for just leaving you in the middle of the street and running off and saying you can't come back. I love you. And Iris said, we both do, and we're never going to leave you again. Come home. And I'm like, but it's not her home. Her home, she has to go back. her home is in the future. I don't get all of that. It's just too much. It's too much. Like, let's just say not come home, but stay with us until we figure this out. Then, you know, we got to send your ass home, but we'll do it the right way. We'll have a proper goodbye. So, I mean, that was the episode. If I had to rate the episode, I would definitely get a little, it's not a good one. I really wasn't feeling it. I would probably give it a 5 out of 10 or something like that, because I felt it was dumb. The dialogue was dumb. It didn't make sense. They made Iris look really stupid. And it just wasn't, it was just unnecessary. Like, with 2 episodes left, why are we fighting B-Girl and Weather Witch and Ragdoll? Like, get to Cicada. And then at the end, Cicada's like telling a joke in her head, and there's like Ghost Cicada 1 there, and I'm like, nah, Chris Klein's bad acting is back, and she's like seeing him and she's crazy. So I don't know, I give it a 5 out of 10. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. As always, can't wait to talk, discuss with you. Until next time, I'm out of here. Big Girl Geek out. Peace. Hey, where are you going? You just watched a cool video. Subscribe.